Hello, library listeners. It's me. It's James. I am sorry to interrupt, and no, this is not the show right now. This is a completely separate recording. This is an ad. This is an ad. But yeah, I have to do some shameless self-promotion. If you're a fan of all of our wacky, goofy antics here on the library, you thought to yourself, man, I really wish those people and someone else that isn't on this show talked about horror movies. Well, then guess what? Swing on by to our brand new podcast, Room 237, brought to you by JumperScape Audio, a best-in-class podcast for first reactions and reviews of horror films, both old and new, with some wacky opinions, thought-out analysis, and plenty, excuse me, fellas, of stupidity to go around. Tune in starting February 23rd on all platforms that you enjoy your podcasts on.
The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, four friends decided it was about time that they booted up their consoles and discussed this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
The library.
It's here.
Welcome.
The library.
We're back.
We had like 2 or 3 guests scheduled for today's episode, and no one is available. So we're not bothering.
We chilling is what we're saying.
We straight hanging out.
We chilling.
We're here.
We're here.
You know, it would have been fun, but it's just not on. It's not.
Connor is very loudly opening a Planters variety pack.
Hey, that's fine.
Rather
He's just
now than
simply
in the
letting
middle.
him know that he's here.
You had plenty of time before we started.
Well, my urge to crave on a snack just hit me.
Can I have a peanut?
Oh, those are peanuts?
You're built like a nut.
Or like a small variety of whatever's in there?
Yeah. A small variety of...
Some fucking trail mix. Oh my God. What? Oh, okay. I was going to say, that's not... You're going to spill it.
He hooked me up.
All right. So today we're going to be talking about the new episodes that dropped for season 2 of Halo. But before we get into there, Patreon. It exists and people actually use it. It's crazy.
People pay money to listen to us ramble.
I suppose more just give money freely. I mean, I don't pay money. I guess they might see it. They might pay money to see terminals, but a shocking number of our patrons don't listen to terminals.
So we don't have to do the. No, I'm kidding.
Patrons, we have this great benefit of the show that you guys can listen to.
Yes,
we could upload if people
for free. Actually, not free. It's money.
If most people don't listen to them,
included.
I wonder how long. If we just uploaded a 30-minute blank audio clip.
Yes. So to give recognition to those patrons who have decided to support our show and listen to everything that we've got to offer, because you should, we start with Jacob Adlam at our Chronicler tier, the only one at this tier, which completely makes sense given how much that support is and how much it's actually funding right now. Potassium at our Versifier tier, Dark Salad 42 at our Poet tier. We have a few Fabulists or Fabulists. I don't know. It's spelled like fabulous, but I know it's not. I know it's supposed to be fabulist because you're writing a fable, but...
Okay, get on with it.
Next! Dick Hammerbush. Hounds of Meath. It's Default 456, Lactating Gator, and Mando. Onto our Wordsmith tier. We have Cool Blaze. Why'd you have to do that? Dude, did you even think about that?
Oh, it was instinct.
It's still fresh.
It's very fresh.
That's fresh.
He made me... That was one of the few celebrity deaths that actually really bugged me.
Did you see the Super Bowl ad that he was in? And at the end, they had a little...
No, I wasn't there in time.
They had a little RAP card for him.
I'll have to see that later.
In my daily huddle at work, we talked about our favorite.
Ashton cried.
Did you?
Yeah, only for a couple seconds, but there was a tear.
Yeah.
Yo, apparently we missed a Kanye commercial.
Is the one where he just pops up on the screen? He's like, I spent all the money for the ad slot, but I didn't have any budget left for the commercial. So go to Yeezy. YEEZY.com. We got shoes.
I'm so mad.
I gotta check that.
I'm so mad we missed that as a Kanye fan.
At our wordsmith tier, we have Cool Blaze, Kyle Hooley, Mo Maggot, Yalin, Spartan Habuko, G156. And then in our Sonorous tier, we have Addy, Criminal, Connor Clark, Dylan, Garrus Vicarian, Lactating Milk MT, LPU Soldier, Mass the Merc 664, Perplex Panic 1, Preacher, and the Lactation of Mercy, and Vermin. And then at our Bellatrix tier, we have Brennan Pfeiffer, Eliza, JX O'Malley, Keith G00 or 077, Oddball here. And then our bards, which the slots are actually filling up rather quickly. I don't know how many are left, but we got like 4 in the last week. So those spots are going to be going away pretty soon. And for those who want to support, but not, I don't know, miss out on a ton of really cool exclusive things, you're going to want to snag those seats soon, because I highly doubt that they're ever going to be given up after they're supporting.
Supplies are limited.
Supplies are limited. Bard available in Walmart. Aussie ODST, Damian Groth, Drew Ledbetter, Ginger Boy Head Ass.
What a great name. I love that. Is he new?
Yeah.
That's got to be new.
Yeah, he's new.
Okay, I was going to say, because we did not laugh at that last week.
Hayden Hamilton, It's Default 2.0, Lactating Snake Nipples, Mando 2.0, Pity 104, The Goob, Tom Cruise, Austin, Tyler Neal, Wraith, and X3chian. And then last but not least, our 2 penmen, Keegan and Warm Applesauce. I don't know why.
What happened to Ungoy Food Nipple?
Warm Applesauce is Ungoy Food Nipple.
Change it back.
But it's true. Either one is it gives it either one gives a nice warm feeling when you get to the bottom.
Change it back.
Yo, Dick Hammerbush, if you ever change your name, my soul will hurt. Yo, has he ever acknowledged the fact that like I just scream randomly every time his name gets popped up?
I don't think he
Discord?
has. He's not frequently in the Discord.
He doesn't say much.
He's got a lot of stuff he's got going on.
I've become more consistent in the Discord than he has at this point.
I try to get on at least like twice a day.
Yeah, just to dog on either the East Coast or the Central part of the nation.
Yeah.
You mean the West Coast?
Yeah, although we could dog on the East.
I mean, we could, but
We're not on the East Coast.
We're not.
We're close enough.
We're
We're not on the
Eastern time
coast.
zone.
We're not on the East Coast, but we're on the East.
We're in. That's the thing. Cheyenne gets mad at me a lot because I'm like, we're in the Midwest, and she's like, no, you're not, because she's from Kansas.
Yes, we are.
We technically are in the Midwest.
We are in
I
the
don't like
Midwest.
it.
That's a fact.
I know.
don't
I
like
say
it.
that's what I say. That's what I say. Y'all can shout at her later. I'll give you permission.
What time zone we in? What time zone we in?
EST, baby.
Eastern.
But we Midwest though.
Nah, we east.
Listen, the U.S. the breaking up of U.S. regions is not official. Technically, you could say that Kansas isn't the Midwest. You could be like, Kansas is the Great Plains. That's its own region.
Ooh.
Time zones
Fire.
are pretty official. Just
Some
saying.
people say that the Great Lakes is its own region.
I agree with you, Connor. It's okay.
Can you say that again?
Moving on. Okay, let's we're getting off topic here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so now that we're getting into this topic here, which is I'm okay. First and foremost, before we get started, I must know, have we all watched the 2 episodes that dropped? I watched it the day
did.
it came out.
I watched the first one this morning.
And Connor?
Yeah, I do be slacking.
Oh gosh. Okay, that's fine. You guys can have you watched season 1 at least?
Yes,
Okay, you
I've watched majority.
whoa. Okay, so excellent.
I've watched almost more than you somehow.
You probably have watched technically more of the Halo show than Shane.
Because of his dad. His dad likes the Halo show. Unironically, he really likes the show.
I'll have to tell him there's a new season.
And I think
know
that's
he
the
doesn't
only
know.
pro that, like, the only definite pro you can say for the Halo show is it is making random boomers excited about Halo.
Yeah, like last night when I'm over and I think it was your dad was like, "Hey, James, is this Halo?" And it's a Halo commercial during the Super Bowl, and I'm like, "Yeah, kinda."
Yeah, it's trying to be.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like even going into that, so I was just like, yeah, it is.
I honestly enjoyed the first episode, but apparently the big controversy is in the second episode.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna go home and watch it tonight regardless. So I mean, I don't really care.
Yeah,
we can talk about it. I don't mind at all.
Yeah, it should be made clear for those of you who actually care. This will definitely be spoiler territory. So if you don't want to be spoiled on the 2 episodes that are already out, tough.
Spoiler warning.
I have done this to myself. I'm still going to go home and probably watch the episodes.
So here's the thing. I want to kind of start off with talking about season 1, because it had a lot of problems.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't. When I say majority, there's definitely an episode or two that I skipped, and I admittedly I was not as interested as I probably should have been. I need to go back and rewatch it and give it a full chance. There was just a lot of gripes like that I had. Obviously, I mean, I've talked about it on previous episodes, and we've talked about it with Installation on a previous episode about like how we feel about the show. And it's like, it's not a bad show. It's just there's a lot of things different from the show. If you compare it to the game, you're gonna lose your mind just because of all the differences.
Yeah.
And I got to try to look at it from like, I mean, it's still Halo. There's things that are like admittedly different, but I got to try to look past it so I can give it a fair shot. And when I tried not to think too hard about it, when I watched the episode 1 this morning, I didn't dislike it. I was entertained by it. So, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I thought the constant gaslighting of Master Chief was pretty fucking funny, but there's that. Just like, yeah, you're just an aging Spartan off his rocker because of all the augmentations.
probably getting ahead of myself. But Ackerson knows that Chief is right.
Oh,
Probably, yeah.
Is the vibe I get.
no, for sure.
But he, like Halsey says, doesn't want controversy. No, it's Parangosky says that.
Yeah.
Parangosky says he doesn't want controversy. This is a good time to want controversy. But yeah, like I said, probably getting ahead of myself, but I think Ackerson, who is wonderfully played, probably the most accurate character in the entire show. He is like definition Oni.
Oni, yeah.
That is an Oni,
Like, shady look, kind of like passive aggressive,
but with like a human resources smile.
Yeah, no, 100%. He pisses me off. He just has that face of like, God, you're such a dick. Like you look at him, you're just like, I just do not like you at all. But yeah, like that's kind of the vibe. He just kind of walked and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, don't let me interrupt. And they're all just like, who the hell is this?
Well, yeah, I did a little research and I feel bad I'm blanking on the actor's name, but he did a lot of one, he was a Halo nerd already.
Yep.
And 2, he did a lot of research and it shows.
Joseph Morgan.
Yes.
Well, at least he, is a fan of the franchise.
Well, it's funny. The trailer came on when I was watching TV with Ashton, and she's like, "Is that Joseph Morgan?" And I'm like, "I wonder what else is he in."
Yeah, I mean, Ackerson is probably, I've said this actually already, that Ackerson is a kind of annoying character because he's the only one that is probably the only one that is actually fully accurate to the book or any of the books. He's like his character in the novels is pretty much 1-to-1 with the show. His intentions, his drive, his personality, they're all the same. And we all love him for it. And that's why I think he's the best character in the season so far.
That's how I know someone's acting is good, when they actually piss me off. Like if you're playing the bad guy and you're trying to be like get under the viewer's skin and it works, you're playing your role great. You really, really are. And he did a great job. Yeah, he was definitely the standout character for the first episode, at least. I'm yet to watch the second, like I said, but I'll probably go home and watch it tonight, or I'll watch it tomorrow morning, and I can only imagine it's probably just gonna continue to get worse.
Potentially.
But episode 1 did leave me with a lot of hope.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Episode 2 had me actually marking out until the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting ahead of myself, but I think we're being a bit freeform anyway.
No, go for it.
But there's Cobalt team of Spartans, and they get sent out on a mission to go check out a comms relay.
Which Cobalt is really funny because it's a shade of blue. Moving on.
Yeah. And Chief's like, trying to tell Ackerson, you have to warn them the Covenant's gonna be there. Blah 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 blah. And then in the last little bit of episode 2, Chief gathers silver team, my bad. And they're like, where are we going? And he says, Visegrad relay. And I'm like, Halo Reach. That's where the Covenant, that's where first contact with the Covenant happens.
Yep.
And then as they're flying off, it cuts and you see in the bottom corner of the screen, sword base. That's the location.
Yeah. So sword base is already under attack.
Yes.
That's in the end. That's the end of episode 2.
The problem is you see this badass
Whoa.
zealot swiping down Marines with his sword.
Which, by the way, that Marine captain is a dumbass.
Yeah, he's a fucking idiot. He's setting them in lines.
Let
like
me ask you, how does the zealot look?
Pretty darn
really good.
The zealot,
really
'cause
good.
The miners still don't like the way the miners look.
They look significantly better, and I'm not complaining for that very reason.
The fact that
They don't look
better.
like
They don't
have
look like
beetle
beetles.
armor.
Right.
Yeah.
they look like
I
they are
did-
wearing elite armor. It's
I did
weird elite
notice-
armor, but
I'd have to go back and watch a little bit more of season. It's been a while, but I remember that was one of my bigger gripes is just how the elites look. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're kidding, but
because
like,
all the other Covenant looked accurate.
Looked
They looked like
fine.
they just used game models for the rest of them.
There were some people that were confused why they weren't just using Halo 2 Anniversaries models.
Yeah, I don't get it.
no, 100%.
But this badass zealot is just slicing down Marines, and he's walking down the hall, and then you just hear a human female voice start speaking, saying Healy.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
She's alive.
How, I love that scene where Chief is like, he's trying to train the Spartans, get them ready for what's coming, which he's being a bit abrasive and I'm not a fan of it, but moving on. And Kai's asking if something's wrong and he's like, I saw her. She's like, who? And he's like, McKee. And she's like, I shot her.
He's like, I know. She's dead, I know.
I was really hoping that they would just kind of let that go.
The thing is, okay, Chief died at the end of season 1,
Mhm.
technically. So Austin had this theory, and I think it's 100% correct, that whatever Forerunner bullshit prevented Chief from actually dying at that Forerunner location they were at in the end of season 1, it probably also prevented McKee from dying, and that's probably how that happened.
I'm sure we'll know for sure in the 3rd episode. That's maybe.
I just want her to be gone.
She's
Like,
not a fun character.
here's the thing.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Be-
Dude.
Oh, brother.
Okay, here's the thing with McKee. Her existence, like in the story, doesn't bug me as much.
Oh, it bugs me.
Listen,
I'm listening.
like from a Covenant perspective, because we know that in this universe, only some humans can actually interface with Forerunner technology, and the Covenant's just using her basically. Like they're basically like,
Which, I
we'll
mean,
kill the human trash after she does what we need.
you look in like Halo 3 where Truth gets Johnson to fire the rings. Like that's nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah,
But what they're doing in the show is taking it to another extreme. This is completely different.
I agree.
Like they're using like she's like a figure of importance. Johnson was like held captive, beaten, and like they took his hand and just pressed it. But they're putting like a major emphasis on this girl for whatever reason. I mean, obviously, like in the show, a reason, but it just doesn't make sense.
Because the problem, I think the core problem with the Halo TV show is they're taking what should have been a like hero's journey type story and turning it into more of a sci-fi war drama.
Which, I mean, Halo has that element already.
Yeah,
But they're doubling down on it.
they're making it way more. Here's the thing: Halo should be human focused, but the antagonist should be just the Covenant as
Right.
they are.
If you want, I mean,
You don't need this human surrogate for the Covenant.
Insurrectionists aside, but like you don't need a human like as like a significant figure in the Covenant. The point of the Covenant is like, oh, big scary aliens of unknown origins are just slaughtering mankind for their religious ideologies. Like you don't need. You feel like you're a human. Why are you siding with them?
I'm just saying a brute could have fit the role perfectly.
Well, I mean, their explanation.
I'm a little biased.
I'm a little biased.
Understandably so. I can see where they're trying to get it from. They're like, oh,
Basically brainwashing.
she was treated terribly. And so the Covenant's like, ooh, an opportunity to get in the minds of these humans, which they wouldn't need to do.
That's not like it. Like you can kind of like tiptoe around it however you maybe like again the season's still early on. They've been good with feedback so far. So I mean maybe they'll have somewhat of a good workaround for it.
I do like the idea that she thinks that they care for her and, want her to, ascend to godhood with them. But in reality, she's more like a weird pet.
Yeah.
They look like
stabbed in the back at some point.
she's here. Like they're just like, oh
yeah.
okay.
Well, like whenever
Someone
she would
forgot
talk
to
to
feed the
the
human.
whenever she would talk to the prophets, like they talk to her like a baby, basically.
Yeah.
She's definitely getting betrayed.
She already did,
Yeah.
technically, but I don't think she really remembers or knows.
I can't remember. How did she fall into that role in the first season, or did she? Or they just kind of like put her there.
She got the Covenant were scouting with a luminary on her planet, and I it's been a while since I watched.
No, that's
season
pretty
one.
much it. They found her.
They found her because that's what the luminary was pointing to.
What Mick does it, but
So they just all right. We'll follow.
Kind of.
oh god, like in reality, the Covenant would have just killed.
Well,
her.
the difference,
like in reality,
the major difference in Contact Harvest, this exact thing happens. They use a luminary, they find the humans on Harvest, but every single human is registered as a reclaimer. So they understandably are like, weird. And then they go down to the planet, and that's when the prophets are like, no, don't do it. It's not reclaimer. It's like reclamation or something. It's different. It's a mistranslation. They're actually destroying Forerunner things. Kill them. And Tartarus is like, okay.
right. Well, I mean, I'd imagine like that's gonna be like her end game is gonna be like they need the Covenant needs someone to fire the rings.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to go about it that way, sure. But I would have rather them go like the Halo 3 approach, where they like, hey, I captured a significant character, I need you, but the secret dies with everything else. It's just like I don't know how I feel.
I mean, they have Miranda. She still exists.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I'm
they
just
could have had.
I'm trying to justify.
If they just
I
had,
don't agree with it.
Where's Johnson?
Where's Johnson?
Seriously, I would love to see Johnson in live action.
There's no way they don't.
At some point, maybe they're waiting till
Please.
they're actually on the ring.
You know what makes me kind of mad though?
What?
Or not mad, sad. I would have loved. I can't remember his name. It's all of a sudden blanking on me. The man who unfortunately passed away recently. I would have loved to see him.
Carl Weathers?
Carl Weathers. I would have loved to see him.
I would have
as
loved
Johnson.
to.
I was gonna
I think
say
he's a
it.
little old.
I was just like, I literally
Old Johnson.
I was about to say, and I kind of put my head
He was
down.
a little old.
Johnson was 70 years old. He could do it.
Yeah, he was.
He didn't look 70 years
well, no,
old.
'cause he
Black
had
don't crack.
No. Yeah, he was. I know he was up there in age in the Halo games, and you tell that to a casual fan, they're just like, "Oh, bullshit." I'm like, no, go on Halopedia. Age of death was 70, I believe. Was it exactly 70, or was he in?
He was
his
like
70s?
76.
He was in his
something.
70s.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
he had
was old. He was old as
augmentations.
hell.
That's why he looked young.
Mhm.
He had
I
augmentations.
was about to say augmentations all the way.
Yeah, he was.
Yes.
He was part of the initial Orion project, which you
Yes.
can learn in another episode of this show. I don't know which one, but it's somewhere.
Okay,
in our
that's been a
catalog.
while.
It's
That's
a while
been a
ago.
while.
We also
Dude.
talked about season 1 before with Installation 00 a long time ago, so you might as well go and listen to that after this if you really want to get more.
You know, just
more
listen
season
to
one
all of
thoughts.
our episodes while you're at it.
You might as well just
From
sit
start
down.
to
Like,
finish.
it'd be kind of cool. I think it'd be kind of fun.
It's boring at first, but I promise it picks up.
Yeah, because like we had no idea what we were doing.
No, we were sloppy. But, you know, if you want to just hear Austin and Bryant monologuing for about an hour and a half and me and James just sitting there twiddling our thumbs, go for it.
Man,
but
it was so much fun to have me and Brian knowing everything and you guys knowing nothing.
me and James would just like, we just come up with like an average question like, how many Halo games are there? Can you please answer that for us, Master? Like, that's the extent of our questions. Like, we just wanted an opportunity to talk. And it was just, when we did, it was like a stupid question. It was something stupid that I'm like, I know the answer to this, but so I can actually take credit in this project, I need to ask something. And that's what we did.
It did not exist yet.
Yeah, Connor was born like a year and a half ago.
What's the age you got there, James? Please,
James.
please,
1 second.
please.
1,000. You lied.
I was seeing. Hold on.
Yes.
Oh, brother.
Damn, he's dead.
Who? Johnson?
No, the guy who played Sergeant Apone in Alien.
Oh yeah,
Johnson
he's
was
yeah.
based
Everyone.
off of. He died in
That's
2018.
who he was referenced off of.
Yeah, that's why I looked it up.
Oh, see, I thought that was just a very fun coincidence, and I was
No.
going to blow your mind.
Sorry, no.
So
Okay.
how old was he?
I know things, Austin.
He was in his 70s, so I know that much. He didn't find a number.
What?
I thought you were looking to find the guy's age.
No, well, he died, so I didn't
No,
matter.
Johnson.
Oh,
Johnson's age.
No, I was not.
Okay, hold on. I got you. Don't worry, Connor. I've got the power.
He sounds that old in Halo 3 when he's all like,
I like numbers.
no, you're not.
He
Yeah, but-
died.
I know he's dying.
I thought
still.
that, yeah, I mean that, but I thought it was just all the cigars. I thought it was all the cigars. I'm like, he's got, bro has just been
Bro's got,
Chief in a Stussy every day for the last 30
bro got a
years.
stoma.
He died at the age of 78 years old.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bro's still kicking.
I wonder how long like you can naturally live with augmentations.
That's the thing. We don't get to know how old they get
Well,
to be.
a natural death in the Halo universe? Yeah, right.
You are
Silly me.
in the core till you die.
Well, that's
and
the
you
thing.
will.
Like that's the thing. I forget who I was. I heard that, or I heard or seen this in the Discord. People were talking about like, I wonder how long Master Chief would like live until he naturally passed away. And I'm like, well, no, like at the time I didn't think about it, but knowing that Johnson was in his mid 70s and looked like he was in his 40s still.
and
Looked and moved.
Chief is in his 50s maybe right now.
So
That's
like,
the thing that's wild. I love how Del Rio was like, I'm
An
not going
aging
to trust
Spartan.
an aging Spartan.
I think that's just, I think it was just a loop in writing. That's
I actually don't know about that because the thing is that Del Rio carries the same perspective as Ackerson. Ackerson does think that the Spartan 2s are inferior because he can make them better. What?
I give Spartans about 250 to 270 years of living before they die naturally.
That's a lot of
also,
years.
in the preview for the rest of the season,
Mhm.
like there's that line, make them Spartans.
Yeah.
And it shows Spartan 3s.
hmm
Are they making Spartan 3s Spartan 4s?
Probably. No, I don't think so. Because the thing
Like
is,
in terms of how they're made?
no. They're as long as they're taking orphans. If they took orphans, then those are Spartan 3s.
Well, we'll find out.
If they're
but-
grown adults, then they're definitely just using
you were- line gave me the
you were
vibe.
hinting at like a Spartan revolution, kind of like what Clone Wars and Bad Batch did, like
Now that'd
clones
be
turning on the
fucking-
Empire. And
Now
like,
that would
Spartan,
be
Spartan 2s versus Spartan
That would set it.
3s.
That would
That would
be-
set it apart.
that would be cool. Completely out of nowhere.
It would make sense, but I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be cool.
Because here's
I mean, we already got Chief going AWOL like in Halo 5 in the first season.
the writer definitely read Ghosts of Onyx because he's whoever wrote this. I don't know who wrote it. I haven't checked, but
It's
the writer.
TV shows, multiple writers.
True, they all read Ghosts of Onyx because
You'd
the
probably
show-
say showrunner.
yeah, showrunner. They're copying the book almost. Well, I wouldn't say story wise, but they are copying most other things 1-to-1, including Ackerson's involvement with Spartan 3s, and more than likely, Soren gets kidnapped. Like they capture him, and it's most likely Oni. And if Oni captured Soren, there's only one reason why they would need him, and that would be to train the next generation. Because a very similar thing happens where Kurt, a Spartan that was originally in Blue Team, at least for a short period of time.
Isn't he like 8'2"?
Who, Kurt?
Yeah.
No, Kurt's a Spartan too.
Yeah. No, 8'2", like height.
Oh,
he's a Spartan too.
I was thinking he was like 8 years old, and I'm like, no.
No, I mean like,
On the subject of height,
isn't he the tallest Spartan?
let me look because I think that is his. little
I did
quirk.
notice, like, I mean, Chief was considerably taller than the Marines, but like I expected him to be taller.
Well, it's hard to find a
Considering he's
professionally
almost-
trained actor who can move like that. That's 7'4".
Yeah, but you figured the suit would have something in it.
Because Pablo Schreiber, he is really tall.
No, he's a bigger guy.
I'm pretty sure he's like 6'10".
Is he 6'10"?
And he's
Holy
probably
shit.
in lifts.
If he's 6'10", that's insane.
Okay, so this is
I
so.
don't think he's 6'10". There's no way.
And yes, James, you actually nailed it on the head. He is 8 feet 2 inches tall.
Woohoo.
So
Pablo Schreiber. No,
So Kurt got kidnapped while he's searching
not
for this.
6'10", he's
I
6'5".
was gonna say, that's still tall, but like I was gonna say, there's no way he's 6'10".
No. So Kurt gets kidnapped and he gets conscripted into training Spartan 3s. He actually is given one of the highest ranks that a Spartan has ever been given. I don't remember exactly what the rank is, but he outranks Chief Petty Officer Mendez, the guy who trained the Spartan 2s.
Mm.
He outranks his original ranking officer, so he gets to tell his ranking officer what to do.
Oh, he's Leaf Schreiber's brother.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
As indicated by the Schreiber.
I didn't connect the dots.
But yeah, and he goes and trains the Spartan 3s. He trains multiple generations of Spartan 3s, and almost all of them die. And
I like
it
Leaf
puts
Schreiber in Defiance.
It was very cool.
Sorry.
The game was pretty all right.
The game?
There was a Defiance game. Yeah. It was like the first game that tried to do a massive multiplayer PvE experience with like 100 players versus massive bosses.
The movie is not. It's a World War II movie.
Oh, that Defiance. There's another game called Defiance.
About the Bielski or Triad.
I was gonna say I haven't seen them.
There's another movie called Defiance.
It has Daniel Craig in it too. It's really good. We're gonna watch this movie. It's a good movie.
We're gonna watch. You know what?
I'm surprised you guys haven't seen this movie.
I have a massive. You've seen my list.
Yeah,
I
it's
have
a World War II
pages
movie.
of movies.
Hey there, Halo fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our friends right after these messages.
But anyway, before we continue, I mean, I'm hearing that right now. Can you hear that?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It's
Can you
going
guys hear
off
that?
right now.
It's in the walls!
So anyway, it's quiz time.
Help me!
I wonder. Austin's neighbors probably just hear Connor screaming, "It's in the walls!" They're probably like, "What the fuck? What's in the walls?"
Oh, the cops show up because then someone called because they just kept hearing someone scream "help."
That'd be kind of funny.
That'd be a little hilarious.
I would invite them on the show.
The cop shows up. We like to have fun here.
We
They just close the door. They're like, "Is everything okay?" Yes, there's nobody in the basement. Like, there's no context.
Thanks, Cheyenne.
You just see me staring at them through the window over there.
Help me!
You're like clawing at the window.
Okay, let's get our guest in here before we get too off topic.
With hopefully no audio issues.
There shouldn't be any. A guy named Dataroth.
Dataroth.
Dataroth. Dataroth.
Data, where are you?
And
Where are you?
has
There he
joined.
is.
Welcome, Mr. Dataroth.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are
Howdy,
you
howdy,
doing
howdy.
today?
Not too bad.
That's great.
Beautiful.
That's but way better than terrible. Hey, I'm sorry. I don't actually know what your fun fact was because I didn't have it pulled up because I'm horribly unprofessional. Do you remember what it was?
To be honest, no, but I do have a fun fact off the top of my head.
Do it. You
Let's
won't.
hear it.
Send it.
So, 10 years ago, I had I got married to my wife, and
Awesome.
we had a red versus blue wedding.
That's awesome.
Wait, what does that mean? What did you do?
Explain.
Okay,
Further.
so first of all, I gotta say this first. Wasn't my idea; it was her idea.
That's you got to keep.
You
her.
got a good keeper on you.
Bro won the lottery.
So, basically, what we did was, we had everybody choose who they wanted to be of the main characters. So my side was blue team. So like
That's
my best
awesome.
man was Church. My best friend was Caboose, and then one of my other friends was Tucker. And then on her side was red team, obviously. So she was Donut, and I was Wash.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wash and Donut got married.
There we go.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's great. That's great.
Did you have any other freelancers? Did anyone else take the role of freelancer?
No, well, technically yes. So our MC, I wanted him to be in our wedding party, but he lives down in Arizona. He had to fly up, so he couldn't be here
Okay.
for all the planning. So I was like, okay, buy a white tie, because that's what we did. Like, our ties were all the colors.
Yeah.
I was like, buy a white tie, you can be meta.
That's so cool. Was there anyone there at the event that was just completely lost to what you were doing?
That was about to be my question.
Everybody that was that was over like 40 had no idea what the heck was going
Yeah, that checks out.
because my parents invited a bunch of their friends and they're all just like, oh, there's a giant thing, like there's a giant cutout of these guys in armor that we can take pictures of. What the heck is going on?
That's incredible.
I love that. It is lovely. Okay. Well, since you're here, you might as well hop in on our conversation for a sec because I want to know your thoughts. Have you listened? Have you not listened? Have you watched the 2 episodes that are out for season 2 of Halo Show?
So I've watched the first episode.
Okay, thoughts?
I'm not getting my hopes up because I really liked the first episode of season 1.
Okay.
And we all know how that turned out.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
So I'm optimistic, but I'm also like, I know what it's like to have my expectations shattered, and I don't want it to happen again.
Yeah, I get you. That's an interesting. It's a rough situation to be in to have to sort of expect that again. That's the thing. They could do whatever they want with this season, but they're going to have to get past that tarnishing of season 1 first.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's their biggest hill to climb is they can't just completely forget what happened in season 1. So they have to, if they want to try and win people back, they have to also do it where it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a struggle for them.
Pablo Schreiber, he did a little interview, and I wish that he had done this at season 1, where he explained why he takes off the helmet, like in very good detail, explaining it rather well. I actually vibe with it now because of his explanation. No, I'm gonna play it here on the show later, but it's a fantastic little spiel. I even sent it in the Battle Dudes chat. Not that anyone ever looks at the things that I send.
It's okay. I don't look at any of the things anyone sends.
Well, I
like
mean,
pictures.
I know that I don't know if you've already had him on, but I know you had installation, or you're going to have 00 on.
Yeah, we had 00.
Yeah. So I just finished watching his explanation or his lore and theory on why Chief might take off his helmet. And if you haven't watched it, it's amazing. But that also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to. I still have it as a challenge, and I'm still going and doing it. He thinks that I'm insane for it, but I'm going through and watching every single one of his videos that he's ever done. Learning a whole lot, but I also am not even a quarter of the way through his videos, and it's been almost a year.
Like, that's the exact same thing I'm doing because, like, to be honest, you guys and installation 00 right now are what gets me through work.
That's an honor.
I just put it in and then just drive around. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can get through 8 hours of this.
That's kind of wild. You put us in the same graces as him. That's kind of wild to me.
It makes me happy.
It does. It makes me happy.
Well, it's very, very detailed, very, very smart, and then Xbox game chat.
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah. That was weird. Jinx.
That was really weird. That was really weird.
Same inflection and everything.
just like
Pretty
right
much.
now, Xbox game chat.
Dude, I
Think
said
punch
that.
bug, no punch
I
backs.
thought my headset was messed up.
It can't be. I just got that one. It's probably working better than everybody else's right now.
Do you want to win 500 credits, sir?
I would like to try
That's
I
awesome.
believe in you.
Did you?
because I'm not gonna lie. So when I got selected, I was like, okay, I'm gonna spend this weekend. I'm gonna study. I busted out the Halo Encyclopedia. Basically, read that all, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's the TV show. I'm like, dang it.
Did you base the questions on the TV show?
Season 1.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's mean.
These should be. I've mitigated it. These should be easy enough, and maybe 1 or 2 challenging ones.
Dude, I barely remember season
Bro
1 myself.
studied and everything.
I was gonna say, I usually come up with the questions, and when Austin messaged me earlier, he's like, "Hey, the questions need to be, referencing the TV show, preferably season 1." And I'm like, "Oh boy!" So I basically just sent him I sent him a link or 2, and I'm like, "You're better off pulling questions from this because I'm not going to be any help here." I barely remember that much of season 1, and understandably so.
It's so long as you've seen all of season 1, you should have all the research you need.
When was the last time you watched season 1?
I imagine when it aired.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Same thing with me. I'm just pulling from my memory. So if I can remember it after watching it one time, I'm certain that you can as well.
Ooh, perfect.
Okay.
Good luck.
Now, this first one, before we get started, actually, I have to read you your rights. So first and foremost, you get 2 incorrect answers. You get 3 wrong and you're out of the game, and you're no longer
3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah, and then you also have a lifeline. You can ask any of us to answer the question for you. Don't ask Connor.
I was gonna say I'm gonna ask Connor.
I'm gonna be real. Don't ask me
I
either.
will do my best.
You can ask me if you want.
You can ask James. Don't count on me or Connor.
And for the sake of the
No one's used a lifeline yet.
no one's used a lifeline. You really should if you
Wait,
need to. It'd be fun.
I thought there was an episode I wasn't here. Someone used a lifeline on one of you two.
Did it? Oh wait, no, that was
Yes.
Gunny, and that was like a really jank quiz.
Okay.
So yes,
Let's
but no.
I was gonna say I don't think I was here for that one, but I remember you guys telling me about it.
Yeah, it was
okay.
funny. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's get started. You all set and ready?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. Now, just to recap, this you got it right. This
Social credit deducted.
you got it wrong.
Perfect.
All right, here we go. What is the name of the team in the Halo series? Is it Red Team, Blue Team, or Silver Team?
Silver team.
It's Silver Team. Yay!
Nice.
Nice.
Should have been blue team.
I couldn't agree more.
What is the name of the woman who shares a strange connection with Chief? Is it Kai, McKee, or Riz?
A key.
It's McKee. We all want it to be Riz because the name is funny.
To be fair, did this show season 1 came out before Riz was funny.
Way before. What is the biggest change in the new season 2 intro of the Halo show? Is it that Chief was replaced with another Spartan, Chief is wearing different armor, or the music is now inspired off of Halo 2?
Ooh. Inspired off of Halo 2.
Inspired off of Halo 2! And it sounds amazing.
That intro.
I will say the intro.
It went.
The intro
hard.
was way better.
I
it's so good.
really want Bear to release the soundtrack for this.
Me too.
Because they didn't release it for season 1, and I got
Marty
mad.
quote tweeted and said, "Seriously, nice work." And because of the way Marty tweets, I couldn't tell if it was passive aggressive or not.
That's
Oh,
fair.
Marty.
Okay.
That's very true.
Next up, Silver Team is made up of John, Riz, Kai, and Vanek, or John, Kelly, Linda, and Fred, or John, George, Carter, and June.
Shoot. It's the first one.
It's the first
Yeah,
one.
I can't think of
Don't,
all
don't try to remember the
I
names.
was looking
Don't
at
try to
James
remember the
Ross,
names.
and I'm like, it's definitely the first one.
Don't try to answer the names.
I looked. I'm like, God, you dumped so much on him on that one.
Because like here's the thing, I spent like actually 6 months trying to remember Riz's name because I got Kai because she was the best other Spartan. I got Vanek because he looked the coolest, and then there's Riz.
Some could say the best Spartan.
Yeah. Season 1 opens with an attack on Reach, an attack on Madrigal, or Chief finding a
Attack on
forerunner.
Madrigal.
It was an attack on Madrigal.
He was ready.
Oh. This character from the novels makes his first real-life appearance in Season 2. Is it Margaret Perengoski, Lord Hood, or James Ackerson?
Oh, this is season 1. Okay.
No, Season 2.
Oh, season 2.
I said 2.
Oh,
So basically, is it Hood or Ackerson?
Ackerson.
It's Ackerson. Okay. You're almost there. You're about halfway through.
I just gotta say, I really hope. I don't know if they casted Lord Hood already.
It better be Ron Perlman,
man.
Oh, that'd be sick.
He can
He still can act.
Not
He's
only that,
now, like the proper age.
he can still quote Lord Hood at conventions. People will be like, "Do you remember Halo?" And he'll be like, and he'll say something like,
I don't know if this is the worst idea you've had or the best. Oh wait,
"The best idea or the worst?" I think he says something about like
live long enough to
negative,
find out.
negative commander, form a defensive perimeter around the cluster. He'll say something like that or something like that. Anyway, moving on. This wild moment happens at the end of season 1. Cortana dies, Chief dies, or the Prophets die.
Chief dies.
For some reason, yes.
But now he's just alive, and I guess
then he's
maybe we'll
back.
find out
Yeah.
more later.
Don't worry about it. Kai's role in the team is explosives, CQC, or sniper.
Kai.
Yes.
Sniper.
Congrats. Okay.
She's stand-in Linda.
You're down to the last 3. If you get these next 3 wrong in a row, I don't know what to do.
So he just needs one. He just needs one.
At the beginning of season 1, Halsey orders Silver Team to do this shocking action to protect Chief. Is it capture him and take him to her, kill any UNSC forces that attempt to hurt or capture him, or stand down and wait for something to happen?
If they're going after the chief, they're not friendlies, are they?
So is that 2?
Yes, that's 2.
Yeah!
Nice.
Okay. Now, you've basically done it. So do you want the last 2 questions or you just want to call it?
Oh, yeah, I want the last 2.
All right.
Get
all
a
right.
perfect game.
I respect it.
This man is a primary threat on Madrigal for most of season 1. Is it Venture Grath, Soren 066, or Adun?
Grath.
Yes. I forgot about him.
I didn't.
He
I
was
could,
scary.
I could never forget that hot tub scene.
He was a scary guy.
No, he wasn't. He was just weird.
Yeah. It's weird.
He was very weird.
He was weird in the scary way.
He came off more as like the edgy kid who tries to look cool at school.
Maybe it's because I saw him as a bounty hunter in The Man in the High Castle and he acted very similar, but also like it was in a much
That's
more
where I
menacing
know
scenario.
him from.
Yeah. He's that bounty hunter who just goes into the neutral zone and he's just like scary. I don't know how else to describe it.
He's definitely. I wouldn't say he's scary in this show at all. And good news, he's dead. So, last but not least, this location from the novel Coal Protocol, almost said Contact Harvest for some reason. Coal Protocol makes its live action debut in the Halo TV show. Is it Balaho, Netherop, or The Rebel?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. This location from the novel Coal Protocol makes its live action debut in the Halo TV show. Balaho,
The
Netherop, or The Rebel.
Good job. Game.
That's a perfect game.
Is
Perfect.
Is that like our second?
Second in a row.
We got to do better. People are catching on.
I thought I was gonna.
No, this was a good one. No, this was
trip 'em up.
These weren't easy. These I would have.
I had a perfect game in my head.
I
Just
would
saying.
have probably failed.
Don't flex too hard, buddy.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. You did a great job.
Don't listen to James.
I hyperfixate, so I remember things like this.
Well, now you've earned 500 credits. Are you going to use them?
Or are you just gonna hold on to them to the day you die?
I might use them. Like the Omega Team stuff looks pretty cool.
It does look really
But-
darn cool. But it's also,
I'm always like, they're gonna come out with something cooler, so I'll probably just hold on to them.
That's how the shop goes.
See,
you
this-
buy something, and the next week there's something you really, really want in there.
That's the most unfortunate part is
Exactly.
that I'm not really buying anything from the marketplace until Halo Infinite's live service ends, because then I'll know I'm not missing anything.
Might be sooner rather than later.
You
We'll
never
see.
know.
That's-
Okay, so before we bid you farewell and all of that, what is one expectation that you have, or at least hope? Let's not say expectations. Expectations in the Halo community are bad. A hope that you might have for season 2, anything at all, even if it's a fever dream.
This is probably a fever dream, but I would love to see Thelvanam.
That would be awesome.
He'd be that
Maybe we already did.
That
Who
maybe.
knows?
That is true.
Now,
might have.
now, would you want to see him as Fleet Master or as Arbiter?
He should
No,
be
I'd love
Fleet
to see-
Master
well,
first.
I would love to.
He
see him
should
as
be,
Master first.
But this show doesn't care, so
I'm hoping that now they do.
maybe.
I have hope that they do.
But there's
yeah,
there's disturbing evidence to the contrary.
yeah, that is true.
How
To
dare
be
you
honest,
bring back
though,
that meme in this scenario? There's disturbing evidence to the contrary.
That comic is great.
To be honest, though, I would love to see him as Fleet Master with like the whole cape that he has in the comics and that.
That'd be so sick.
That'd be really cool.
That'd be amazing to see on screen.
What would be really funny is if they were like, it's season 2, Halo 2.
Well,
Let's
the thing
watch him
is-
become the Arbiter.
If he does eventually appear and he's not voiced by Keith David, I will be so angry.
They just got some generic
They
dude.
probably if he wasn't, the only reason I could think is they couldn't afford him.
It's not going to be Keith David.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. I bet my life on it. It's not going to.
He loves Arby.
I'm telling you, it's not going to be him.
He's like,
It's not.
I know.
I love playing as Arbiter. Now pay me $500,000.
I'd be just as upset, but I'm telling you right now, don't don't get your hopes up for that because you're just going to get let down. It's not going to be Keith
Jen
David.
Taylor.
Do you
It's
think
not
that?
gonna be.
Well, she's cheaper. Do you think that weird disfigured
Whoa,
brute?
that was mean.
She is. She's just a voice actor.
Yeah,
And like,
but
because that's the thing.
Keith's approaching retirement age. He probably only does the things he wants to do. For fun.
I'm not. Just make it clear. I'm not discrediting Jen in any way. She's a fantastic actress. Has been in a lot of top tier things. But the fact of the matter is, unfortunately, voice actors are paid significantly less than like screen actors, which sucks. Do you think we're gonna see weird disfigured brute guy again?
Maybe.
I hope not.
I already forgot him.
Yeah, that's the thing. He killed Chief
At this point, just bring in like Tartarus.
Well, I'll take that. That would be hilarious. I'll take that. Or just that one elite from Halo 5 that throws the Ungoy out the airlock.
Throw the Ungoy out the airlock. Then he gets thrown out the airlock.
Anyway,
Karma.
we thank you so much, Dad Arthur, for showing up and doing so fantastic and basically making me look like a fool by not making a quiz that was difficult enough.
Oh no, that was difficult. Trust me. I was like, oh no, not Halo.
Yeah,
not the
I'm
TV
just
show.
screwing with you. You're just really intelligent. That's all.
Big brain time.
Exactly. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your evening or morning, wherever in the world you are. I don't try to assume. And I guess I'll see you around the Discord.
Yeah, for sure.
Sick.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
He's gone.
He's gone.
I've lost him. I lost signal. I disconnected from the call.
Slip space rupture detected.
Oh no.
Slip space rupture detected.
You know, going back to the throw the Ungoy out the airlock.
Why are we going back to this?
Like, I feel like that other elite was bringing a pretty valid concern, and I know it probably wasn't actually a joke answer, but it kind of. Do you think that was a joke answer? Like he's just being an asshole? Like,
No, he was-
Ungoy are resisting. Throw the Ungoy out the airlock.
No, he was being.
I mean, if the Ungoy are resisting, they have a fairly good history of just killing the grunt.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I took that very genuinely.
That's a lot of manpower just to get rid of, though.
I didn't necessarily like. I mean, they're replaceable. They breed like rabbits.
Yeah, but they're out on this mission on this Oni ship.
Well, if they're rebelling, then that's very important that they don't do that.
Why were they resisting?
Because shut up.
They were on the ship, not being bothered by anybody.
And then 4 people showed up to bother them a lot.
4 of the worst people to possibly come and bother you showed up.
I just, you know, for the first video game F-bomb in the Halo franchise, I want it to be a grunt.
Please.
Just, what the f***?
No, I mean it'd be funny, but I feel like it's got to be Chief. It's gotta
he's
be
not.
Chief.
He hardly ever swears.
Yeah, he's like old Austin.
That's fair.
Okay,
I'll take the comparison.
He doesn't swear a lot, but I think saying he doesn't swear.
I don't think
is a
well,
stretch.
that's the thing. He
Gosh
swears
darn
like
it,
he swears
Cortana.
like a few times.
Gosh, he didn't even say darn. Gosh dang it, Cortana.
I still say that.
Yeah.
Because it's just ingrained, and also I like how it sounds.
And also, gosh damn it doesn't sound very good.
But the swearing thing, Chief has pretty much only sworn like maybe a few.
I say gosh darn it to customers. Like their food will not be their liking, and I'll be like, oh gosh darn it.
Drat.
Drat.
So we're going into season 2. We're starting to get some interesting things popping up. And did you see that there was a promo for the Halo TV show where Pablo Schreiber is basically doing a Steve Downs impression?
No.
He does a Steve Downs impression. I'm pulling it up right now, dude. I'm straight up Jamie right now, but I'm also Joe Rogan according to the structure of the show.
And what are we?
I guess you're. What's the one episode that he had like all the dudes from New York on, and he had them do all smelling salts?
What you're talking about.
Connor, what was that episode where he had a bunch of dudes from New York that were doing smelling salts? Joe Rogan.
Oh, that way I don't know which episode, but I know Joey Diaz was on there. I think Tom Segura and maybe Shane Gillis.
Sick.
I think, but
I knew I could go to him.
those smelling salts are definitely every bit strong.
Yes.
They will knock your socks off while you have your shoes on. That is a promise.
I agree. They're not to be trifled with.
I had a friend
I
of
want to
mine.
hear the Steve Downing.
Yes,
impression.
you're going to hear it right now. Wait. Wait, hold on. It muted itself. Okay, right
Boom.
now.
This armor belongs to me. Belongs to the ones who are gone. The ones who are still in the fight.
Why doesn't he sound like that all the time? That was awesome.
That was pretty fucking cool.
That it might. I mean, I feel like he has to force it, and I feel like it'd be hard for him to sound like that consistently.
Tough.
Yeah, my
I mean,
my timbers were shivered by that sound.
That
bit.
was, I mean, for real,
It
that
sounded
quote
good.
was great too.
that whole thing solid.
That quote was awesome.
I do not agree with the helmet coming off.
I don't
Most
either,
people
but he
don't.
does give a really good explanation as to why he did it.
well, I mean,
I don't need it.
you.
Should never came off in the
I
first
mean,
place.
no. Again, I 100% agree. But I mean, there are scenes, especially in episode 1 of season 2, where he's walking around like the Oni facility, like practically walking up to fucking HR,
Shit.
and like you want him to just pull up with his multi-billion-dollar like armor on. Like it just doesn't make sense.
I
for
mean,
him
he
to-
did that in Halo 2.
Not necessarily. It's a little different. And bro was having a corporate meeting with HR basically. So it's just like it wouldn't have made sense to have armor. I mean, they could
So
have.
what not better to wear than a full suit of armor?
You told me you were going to wear something nice.
Bro was getting an award.
What is nicer than like billions of dollars of drip?
And to be
I don't
fair,
even think it's billions.
H2A.
Because I know the suit of armor cost more than what frigates cost.
Yeah.
H2A. He did.
I know
look,
stuff.
He looked clean.
He
I will
does.
say that. Chief
He's
looked
nice.
clean.
I like him in Halo 2 Anniversary.
Everyone likes him in Halo 2. People argue that's his best armor.
Well, that's because it's the most nice. It's just I like the little like 5-sided dice thing on his palm. I've always liked that. The back of his hand, that little plate. At least I think it's 5. It might be 3. I think it's 5 though. So aside from talking about all of that, with season 2 and its direction, where it's going, I'm not. After seeing McKee come back, I lost a little bit of hope. Now, there is something that was interesting, though, that Halo guy pointed out to me, which was that in the second episode, Quan comes back. And Quan is much more connected to some form of spirituality in a way. I don't know what the point was of having the plot of her being a tagged slave for like the first 10 minutes of the episode, but I guess that's neither here nor there. That might have been just to showcase that with Soren gone, it was more dangerous, but it didn't really do a good job of that. She lives in a little cave now, and that cave is covered in paintings that I guess she put up herself, and she keeps on spouting about there being a threat older than your god, quote, that is capable of destroying everything. And there's good reason to think that she's talking about the flood. Which is very terrifying to think that the flood might make an appearance in this show, which if they do
it.
I mean, I'll take it.
Do it.
I'll be upset if we get the flood in the Halo TV show before we get in one of the games.
I'm like,
I'll be so upset.
I'm upset with a lot of the cool stuff that happens in the show because I'm one of those guys that gets like, I can't enjoy the show to the degree that I normally would because it's not canon.
Yeah, no, that's basically what I say every time we talk about the show. It's just like when the show was announced, I'm like, oh, we might get something. Like I thought it was going to cover the gaps between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, or it would just be. I mean, I guess technically it was building up hype for Halo Infinite, but it just wasn't filling in any gaps that we haven't experienced as the player of the games.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that's what it was going to be. So everything that they add and everything that makes sense in the story of the show doesn't make sense in the game. And at the end of the day, like if you're a fan of Halo, you're going to look at the games first and be like, okay, well, what's happening in the show doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but like it didn't happen in the game. And that's what started it all. Like that's what everyone pays attention to.
Yeah, it's always going to be a drag to me because like the show could do as many cool things as it wants, but because of the fact that it's not canon, I simply can't enjoy it.
I can't get behind it as much as I would be able
Although
to.
I think James has a different perspective on this.
I was going to say something.
Go ahead, Connor.
I was going to say they should take the opportunity to do some absolute buck wild, crazy stuff.
That's what I want. If you're going to make it non-canon,
If
go wild with
If it's
it.
non-canon, I want Master Chief dual wielding some rockets the entire show.
I mean, that's more
That
canon.
sounds
That's
like it
more
could be
canon.
canon.
That's more canon than you think.
Dual wielding rockets?
For me,
has it happened? Sorry.
this is going to sound weird, but it's I think a good comparison. As a horror movie fan,
Room 237 releasing February 23rd.
I'm used to multiple timelines for franchises I love.
Halloween.
So this is nothing new to me at all.
And I can understand that. However, I don't like it being added to a franchise that's over 20 years old.
I agree.
I like it when it's initial, like DC Comics or Marvel Comics. They immediately come out with multiple timelines. But we don't have that with Halo. Halo didn't have that.
And I get that too. Just saying, I'm used to it, so it doesn't bother me.
You're used to it. Are you excited about it? Are you excited to get a different take?
Hey there, Halo fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with our friends right after these messages.
That means
No, but like at the same time, it's not.
making.
At the same time, it's not something that really. It's just not a big deal in my brain.
And so the
For me, I kind of saw it coming.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Whenever I saw it, I was kind of like, so Showtime's taking. I'm like, okay, so they're gonna
like-
and they're not gonna go through with it
When
fully.
films cross over into different media and tell a new story in that world, most of the time it's not canon to that other property. A great example I'm gonna go back to Marvel.
Mhm.
Like the MCU is going strong, but you still have Marvel's Avengers games being made that are not tied in with the MCU. They're telling a whole different story with whole different universes.
Mhm.
I was gonna point to, for some reason my brain was gonna point to Star Wars, and that's blatantly false. But because the games that come out now are still currently canon, but Star Wars also has two timelines, and I know that's not something that was popular.
It's still not.
It's still not popular, but it's still something that I feel like most people have just gotten used to and accepted to by now.
I think the major difference is that 343 set a precedent, because if this was Bungie era, this would be completely different. Bungie didn't care about canon too much. They cared about fun over making things make sense. So Fall of Reach got a reprint from 343.
But this is a business thing that I'm going to say. Halo is an intellectual property of Microsoft at the moment, technically.
Yeah.
What 343 does doesn't matter. They sold the rights to Paramount. Whatever Paramount wanted to do is what they were going to do.
I would say sort of. Because yes, but also 343 employees were directly involved with the production. One of them being Kiki Wolfkill, who quite literally has control over all of the extra content that goes on in the universe. And she's the reason why she's the reason why Forward Unto Dawn exists. She's the reason why Nightfall exists. She's the reason why pretty much everything that isn't a game exists. And so when 343 had set this standard that was like, we want to make sure that canon is upheld at all costs. Everything is connected. Everything makes sense. You could go to all of this stuff and get the whole story. And then they suddenly just kind of back off on that for the show.
Because I don't think that was their call.
They shouldn't have done it then.
I agree, but they didn't do it. Microsoft did it.
They shouldn't have done it. I don't care who they is. I don't want.
I know
they shouldn't have done
but
it.
It's done. That's the point I'm making.
I know, and I'm not going to have to enjoy it. You
don't have to.
I'm waiting for it to die.
I'm saying it doesn't. Like, it's not something that's going to get in the way of my enjoyment or lack thereof. It's not a factor.
It's not going to get in the way of mine either. I just know it's going to get in the way of a lot of other people's. Like, a lot of people are they're already dropping out of the franchise because they think 343 is incompetent now.
I will say, like, that's it turned me away from the show knowing that it wasn't canon. That was like one of the main reasons why I couldn't get behind it, is because I know it's not canon.
I guess I have an alternative view of what that phrase means. And that phrase means when something's not canon, it's its own canon. Therefore, it is its own property. And whether you hate it or you like it, that's just how I see it.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the helmet come off, I'm like, yeah, I'm done. But I sat and continued to watch the whole show with my dad, which not bad.
Yeah, it's still a non-canon property. It's taking it's a different timeline.
To the Halo game series, it's still its own.
The Halo
canon.
franchise.
The Halo franchise.
Yes.
It's not just
The entirety of it.
Yes, but you know what I was saying.
I do understand.
Yes.
It's just it's a terrible decision.
I get what you're saying, but it still doesn't make sense. And majority of Halo fans feel that way. Like it's its own.
I understand that. I would have preferred it to be canon too. I'm just explaining why that part of it doesn't bug me as much as you guys.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate decision
because it's just like, oh, it's a new timeline. Okay, and then I watched it.
Yeah.
Like that's all there is for me.
Yeah, and
I wish I could look at it like that. But I can't.
I have to. The thing is, I do that in post where I'm like, oh, this is really upsetting at me. How could they do this? This is so. Oh, it's not canon. I don't even care anymore now.
If anything, I feel like it's clearly they use it as a shield so they could do more of what they wanted, so they didn't have to have all that oversight committee like stuff going on.
It's one of the best examples of executives being dumb executives that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
It costs money and we don't have to do it.
Well, the problem is it's not just an executive problem. I'm sure there's creatives in the room who didn't want to be restricted to the original Halo.
Oh, like the original Halo 4 art team that definitely didn't bungle that one.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm adding to it. I'm not antagonizing you.
I feel slightly antagonized.
I'm on your side. I'm directing my anger towards those who have definitely wronged my favorite franchise for no reason.
I'm not saying I love that it's a new timeline. I think this is the way they should have gone. I'm just saying it's not something that
it's not a factor.
For me, it's more about the content of the show. That's all that really matters.
And unfortunately, not even that can really.
No, season 1 was terrible. I'm going to let season 2 play out before I make any judgments. So far, things I like. There's definitely more things I like so far at this point in the season than I did last season.
I'm glad that they kept John Chief Wick.
Yeah.
Are the fight scenes good?
Yeah.
That's all.
John Chief Wick.
That's all I'm there for.
He straight up he does a radar check and takes out an elite with a shotgun shell at point blank without looking.
He literally just goes.
Just cranks it to the diagonal while taking a kneel. It was really cool.
He's trying to demonstrate for Connor. That's
also,
what that was.
That scene at the end of that fight scene where Perez is like, oh my gosh, and Chief looks up and there's just a ton of them. That was pretty awesome.
That was pretty cool. And then I remember I was like, why are they leaving? Kill him. And then the glassing started and I was like, oh, that's why they're leaving.
So anyway, I have that quote, the interview piece that I think he did with, I think that's GameSpot he did it with, based on the logo. I don't know. This is this little piece of excerpt that he did that he tries to explain why the helmet comes off and his defense for it.
No such thing. Not going to work for me.
There's been some quotes that have been attributed to me that I don't think, display my exact words correctly, and maybe we're taken out of context. But just to be clear, I love acting with the helmet. There's a group of people that would prefer that the helmet never came off. Is it possible to make a version of the show where the helmet doesn't come off? Absolutely. Is it? Would it be a show that was closer to the experience of the video games? Probably. When you make a video game, you keep the main character mysterious and a bit of a blank slate so that we all can put pieces of our personality on him. And it's why so many of us feel so connected to the character and such ownership over it, because we've all played as him and we feel like we're him in a way. And that's wonderful and beautiful. And I love the passion of the fans that have so many feelings about it. But at the end of the day, I was hired to make a show that involved this cracking open of the character and the dual aspects of his personality. And so that's the story that I've thrown myself quite fully into trying to make the best version of.
Yeah. And I really like that explanation.
Like,
I mean,
and the thing is, he does do a really good job. Like, I want to make that clear. Like, with what he's doing, like with what he's given, like he's giving it his all. I don't think it was his idea to be Master Chiefs. I kind of feel bad that he's been.
No, he actually made a statement that he did not approve of the McKee sex scene. He didn't want it to happen.
Because it's really dumb.
It's really dumb.
Stupid.
Because he plays the games. He knows the franchise. And that's part of the reason why they picked him for Chief. But because
because lore-wise, yeah, he does take off his helmet he doesn't just walk around like a robot all the time.
No, and that's one thing is that like I wasn't truly against him taking off his helmet. I was against him taking off his helmet in dumb situations, which he did multiple times in season 1.
Which it seems like from interviews I've seen, they are not going to do that anymore.
Doesn't seem like it, no, and that hasn't happened yet.
Now there is in the trailers, there is a scene of the Covenant attacking their barracks while they're completely undressed, and it looks like he's dressed like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Platoon.
Yeah, I didn't make that connection before
because he has like, it looks like the flak jacket, and he's just running around the base like shooting, and I'm like, that's kind of fun, like unprepared Spartans just like basically in their PJs.
Yeah, it would have to be. I'm gonna have to see what the context of the scene is, because that's the thing. Unprepared Spartans is something that I can't put together in my brain.
Unprepared as in not dressed.
That's
what I mean.
That's the thing. That doesn't happen either, really. Like if Spartans are, it's very rare for them to not be in their armor. Is the kind of weird thing. How the show handles it, that doesn't matter to me because it's not canon. How Spartans handle their armor is up to them. Spartan armor is incredibly difficult to take off, so they don't do it very often. But Chief goes and takes a shower on an Oni base at one point, so he has to take off all the armor, obviously. So he's done it before. He takes off his helmet all the time to address his fellow Spartans or other commanding officers, although he'll selectively choose not to because he looks 14 in most of the books and he doesn't want to reveal that. But and that's the thing. Him taking off the helmet isn't the problem to me. If we're going to be looking at it from the perspective of expanding on the character of John, because that makes sense. In the novels, they're expanding on who John is. I don't think that the show made a good choice in trying to figure out a separation between Chief and John, because they're the same person in every other context. But again, non-canon, they can do whatever they want.
Well, I mean, I feel when they say that, they're more doing Master Chief the poster boy versus, and like that's just kind of the naming convention.
I hadn't thought about that. That is an interesting way of, because that
like
is
Master Chief in the eyes of the people versus the actual guy.
Yeah, like when he goes to hologram prostitute Cortana, and there's
which is probably like the meanest way to like the most like not meanest, but the most like reactionary way to put it.
Yes, I know the real reason is that the dude is struggling. He's still dealing with the fact his pellet has been removed. He has emotions that he doesn't know how to understand, so he can't share his feelings with anyone else that he knows, especially not his team. And so he goes to the only place that he knows that he can go to talk about it, and that's straight up just a hologram version of his old AI GF.
Yeah. So like honestly, like I made jokes about it immediately, but I'm like, when you say it the way everyone says it, which is Master Chief dresses up a digital holographic prostitute as Cortana and talks to her about
Twitter
his feelings.
Overreacted.
Yeah, like
horribly.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, Twitter overreacted.
That scene didn't bother me.
There was a lot of memes in the server that I really loved. People just started posting Blade Runner gifs.
The little bit where he's like, where like she's like, I can look a bit closer, like you can change my nose. He's like, your nose is fine. Like
it was super sad when she was just like, your time has unfortunately run out. You're gonna need to pay. And he's like,
swipes card.
Anyway, I need to cut it off here because we're running out of time. Speed run round of Q&A, because next week we're doing a full Q&A episode. We're burning through all of these, baby.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
So we're speed running this because we got 15 minutes left before the show is over. So let's do this. Cool Blaze Cult of Shameful asks, can I be stationed anywhere else other than guarding the grunt mating chambers? No.
Nope. No, that's
not
your
at
spot.
all.
You're staying
Someone's
there forever.
do it.
Cool Blaze Cult of Shameful asks, have you guys ever heard or listened to the Spearhead guy on YouTube? To Spearhead.
Yeah.
Yes. Would you try Halo Dubs?
Oh, okay.
Would you try bringing him onto the show? No. I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably.
He's a little bit of a troubled.
Yes, probably. Probably not a
loved
good
his
time.
content, but he has a bit of a
Back.
He's got a rep.
He's got a little. He's got.
He might have changed.
I don't want to get canceled too.
He might have changed,
Yeah,
but he's done.
We're just getting started. I don't want to get canceled.
Granted, of all the things to be canceled about, it's not the worst thing. Like, don't go to the darkest.
He didn't kill
trenches.
anybody.
He didn't kill anybody. He didn't do some sort of terrible assault or anything like that. Just
Just
typical
leak screenshots.
Yeah. Leak screenshot style.
Leave it.
Perry, the savior of lactation, asks, going off of episode 39, the time difference and in-game experience, the difference between Halo 4 and Halo 5 Spartan 4s makes Fireteam Osiris feel look like Spartan 5s. What do you think would be upgraded to make Spartan 5s? The armor.
Shields.
Armor.
I mean, the armor, but also the candidates, because it'd probably just be a whole giant new class of candidates.
I would imagine the Spartan 5s would just be like, all right, ODSTs.
Yeah.
you are
Like,
I
just
mean, that's essentially what Spartan 4s are.
Pull up the ODSTs.
Almost, I'm sure, like almost all of them probably were ODSTs.
a lot of the ODSTs selectively chose not to because they hate Spartans still.
Yeah, but I still feel like a lot of them probably were.
A good portion. It's good to see that Alpha 9 basically all became Spartan 4s in the novels. So like Dutch, and
I have a
Bug,
plan.
I have a plan.
Romeo,
I just
they all
need
became Spartan
money.
4s. Even Mickey, but we all hate him.
We don't talk about Mickey.
Mickey.
Keith G077 asks, what other books do you read other than Halo? For example, an Ember and the Ashes saga, War of the Spark, Star Wars Aftermath
Connor's like,
trilogy?
readings for nerds. Go hit the gym.
I don't read.
If so, what's your favorite non-Halo book series? Anybody else read here?
I read it, and it was really good.
Okay, so horror franchises.
I was a fan of Where the Red Fern Grows. And
Bro picked a third grade novel that we read in third grade.
we read it in sixth grade. F-
Was
off.
this sixth grade?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you weren't even close. Oh my God, you weren't even
Don't
close.
try to contest with his memory.
No, I was gonna say, that was
Sorry, okay,
wasn't
I'm
remotely
sorry.
close.
My favorite book was actually Hatchet by Gary Paulson.
And I also
Nice.
finished recently. Well, when I say probably about 3 months ago, I finished the book for All Quiet on the Western Front.
Sick.
That
I got to think about the franchises that I've read because I've read quite a few of them. Actually,
Speed run. No time for thinking. First one.
Geronimo Stilton.
There we go.
Rumpelstiltskin?
No, Geronimo Stilton.
Who?
Geronimo Stilton.
Who?
Geronimo Stilton.
Who?
Geronimo Stilton.
Who?
A mouse.
What?
A mouse.
Bro did not say Rumpelstiltskin. That is not what he
Lactating
said.
Default of Shameful
What?
asks, if Halo had a true role-playing game made, which species would be your go-to romance?
Sang Healy.
Now, actually, I would want an adorable little Ungoy wife. Kai Ronner asks, favorite Red versus Blue quote?
That was the worst throw ever of all time.
No, too high.
I just like hearing that from the meta.
There's so many to choose from.
That's not my favorite. I can't pick a favorite.
Trying to remember from the first season.
I am an emotional time bomb.
I am an emotional time bomb.
That's up there. There's also, of course, I am Michael J. Caboose, and I hate babies.
Caboose, for the love of God. Shut the
I don't know what's funnier. Caboose as a character himself or just everyone reacting to Caboose's antics.
It's a combination.
I think it's part of it. You
If
know?
I had to choose-
Honestly, I think one of my favorite moments, and I'll count it as a quote, is just like Griff just being like, "Sir, permission to lay down and take a nap?" He's like, "Permission denied." Well, I had to try. And then he asks like three more things and just keeps repeating, "Well, had to try."
The lactation wait, Jane, you didn't answer, did you?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, you
Said
said
the
grenade
worst
thing.
throw
Grenade, yeah, the
ever
grenade thing.
of,
Yeah.
of all time.
The lactation.
That was the second worst throw ever of all time.
The lactation sensation asks, you are of course familiar with the theory that Chief has the Gios of Bornstellar, but something I thought of recently is what if Dr. Halsey has a Gios as well? Maybe of either librarian or maybe ancient human scientist that could explain her extraordinary intelligence and the source of her ideas for the Spartan program and humanity's next step in our evolution. Connor?
why would you called it a what? What in the,
Me and James
what
are
in the
looking at each
Halo
other.
Novel is
Me
this?
and James are looking at each other confused, and you call on Connor.
I'm looking at these two confused. I'm like, well, I'm screwed. I'm done. And then you call on me first?
Austin, you want to go ahead?
It's more than likely that she has librarian's Gios. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. And Halo guy agrees. So Cool Blades Cult of Shameful asks, hey Shane, are you all right? Your cult misses you.
I mean, I've been talking.
This was a month ago.
Oh, okay. I'm like, yes, I'm okay. Yes, I am.
That's why we're doing the Q&A catch up because
we're behind.
Because I remember you guys were like, no, we're gonna catch up eventually. I don't think you know how many questions we get per day.
Yeah. I was gonna say, well, I mean, I've been present at the last 2 game nights. Me and James unironically started one last week. And I talk in the Discord a lot more. So yes, I am okay.
Also, remember the talk we had about the cult that I wanted to have?
Yes.
You don't need a cult.
Should we talk about it for a quick second?
I'll give you the floor.
Or should we just let it stay natural and just let it flow?
Well, that depends. How fast do you want it to happen?
All right. So basically playing off of my Discord username, The Don. Anyone who wants to join the cult, just throw your name in as some kind of mobster, like a title a mobster would have.
If someone,
just take it from there.
If someone,
I need a cool thing for my cult that
his is shameful. His is just Connor right now, but it could switch to the Don. People are renaming themselves to Austin.
I noticed that.
I think I am the Don parentheses Connor.
Okay, if you want to be a part of my cult, you all can have the honor of just putting zealot in your name. Ooh. You can be a zealot.
What?
In the cult of Jamestown.
Wild.
We will drink the Kool-Aid together. We will drink the cyanide-infused Ungoy infusions together.
Yeah, I like mobsters more.
Finally.
Yeah, I like mobsters more.
Finally, Vermins with tiny EODs asks, do you ever plan on having members of the Discord?
I bet you can't even spell zealot, Connor.
Zealot.
Okay.
Wow. Do you ever plan on having members of the Discord be on longer than just the quiz show? I mean, we're already pressed for time as it is on this show.
And hey, we let them chat for a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes they just stick around for like way longer than
which is fine.
Yeah, because I tried to give folks that come on the quiz show now like 10 minutes at least.
Well, we gave the last guy no time.
I mean, we've talked about like having patrons on before, like just having them on as like a guest.
Well, that's the thing.
We could do that.
There is every 25 episodes we bring in our chroniclers to join as a guest. Last time it was Ash for episode 25 and the Spartan episode or Master Chief episode. This time we're approaching rapidly episode 50, and we're probably going to end up having our top patron join us again this time. Who is it right now again? That's Adlam. I think it's Jacob Adlam. Yeah. So
legend.
Adlam will probably be joining us so long as he stays a chronicler. And yeah, we just got to figure out what the topic for episode 50 is though.
Someone beat him. The time is soon.
But yeah, anybody who joins as a chronicler, they get to join.
So if you want to be on the show, you can be a chronicler for 1 month as long as it coincides with a 25th multiple of episodes.
You got to time it. Takes planning.
Just try to figure out the day we record and schedule everything, and then
it's Monday.
Yeah, that.
And you ask yourself, what day is it?
Make it too easy.
Todd
for
has the answer.
It's Monday.
I loved that so much.
What day is it?
We have a lot of questions left, so please join in next week when we go in and talk about basically everything ever. It's going to take a long time.
We totally will not get sidetracked.
Like, that's the thing. Next week, we're not going to have a quiz guest. We're not going to have any other guests. It's going to just straight up be, we start, welcome to the library. This person asks, because we have a lot to get through. It's going to take a long time. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to support us, you can go to discord.gg/JumperScape, join the community, hang out, be a friend. It's very cool. Yeah. We're rapidly approaching 500 members on our Discord, so it'd be fantastic to have you join us. If we hit 1,000, we get to be able to be discovered on the discovery page for Discord, so that'd be pretty awesome. Whoa! If you want to support us directly, like straight up directly, you can go to patreon.com/JumperScape.
Yeah.
Lots of rewards in there, tons of things that you can get from that. If you want to support us in a more indirect manner, you can go to Ko-fi.com, coffee, whatever it is, .com/JumperScape. It's Ko-Kingston. Do it. It's ko-fi.com/JumperScape. That'll have everything you need there. And aside from that, projects are still coming out. The roadmap video just released on the JumperScape Media YouTube channel. So I would recommend you go and check that out if you want to see what we're going to be doing this year. Watch it. Is there anything else that you guys have?
Room 237 coming out February 23rd at on Friday.
Translation: Room 237, the horror cast drops on February 23rd, hosted by James and Ashton. It's going to be cool and fun.
Yeah.
So you should tune into that like the day it releases for the analytics. So anyway, thank you so much everybody for listening. We appreciate your listenership, and we'll see you guys next week.
I love you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The library was produced and published by JumperScape Audio. Funding was provided by our fantastic patrons on Patreon. If you enjoy the show and wish to support JumperScape's future projects or get some sweet benefits, join our Patreon at patreon.com/JumperScape or become part of this truly special community at discord.gg/JumperScape. Thank you for your listenership, and we hope you enjoyed.